President Trump obliterates the Biden administration fuel economy standards and announces a wave of major automotive investment. Senator Mark Kelly, Democrat of Arizona, may have illegally leaked details of a classified Inspector General report to the Wall Street Journal. And Minneapolis triples down on protecting Somalian migrants from deportation. I'm Tony Kinnett, host of the Daily Signal's Tony Kinnett Cast, syndicated nationally at 7 p.m. Eastern. It is Thursday, December 4th, 2025. This is the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Well, yesterday, the President of the United States signed a major order and introduced a major proposal to terminate President Biden's Green New Deal standards for automakers, as well as reducing the 50 miles per gallon fuel economy goal that the Obama and Joe Biden energy sphere had introduced over the last 15 years. The Trump administration projects hundreds of billions of dollars in savings over the next 5 years. Here's the president making that announcement.
Today, my administration is taking historic action to lower costs for American consumers, protect American auto jobs, and make buying a car much more affordable for countless American families and also safer. We're officially terminating Joe Biden's ridiculously burdensome, horrible, CAFE standards that imposed expensive restrictions and all sorts of problems, gave all sorts of problems to automakers. And we're not only talking about here, we're talking about outside of our country, because nobody could do it. Nobody wanted to do it, and it was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices. Combined with the insane electric vehicle mandate, Biden's burdensome regulations help cause the price of cars to soar more than 25%. And in one case, they went up 18% in 1 year. Today, we're taking one more step to kill the Green New scam. It's part of the greatest scam, probably, well, other than Russia, and a few others I could name. The greatest scam in American history, the Green New scam, and it's a quest to end the gasoline-powered car. This is what they wanted to do, even though we have more gasoline than any other country by far. And people want the gasoline car. They want everything. They want electric. They want to have lots of alternatives, but they do want the gasoline car. Right now, it's leading away by a lot. The car business is a very interesting business, but we want to keep it that way.
These environmental for automotive standards were and are extremely unpopular with everyone from automotive manufacturers to mechanics, making trucks extremely massive in the United States and therefore ridiculously expensive, being one of the key reasons why small cars have such ridiculously complex engines. And of course, while my precious favorite pickup truck in the world, the Toyota Helix, is sold everywhere else in the world except for here in the United States without a ridiculously high chicken tax. It really is, if you'll forgive me for injecting my opinion directly, one of the worst economic thumbs of policy in the last century. The president also announced, along with major auto industry leaders, huge investments into the United States, all the way from Ford Motors over to Stellantis.
Mr. President and Secretary, all the important lawmakers here, competitors, today is a victory of common sense and affordability. We're very proud of Ford to be the number one auto producer in our country. 80% of the vehicles we sell here we make in our country.
Meanwhile, Democrat Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona, who has spent the last week complaining about Secretary of War Pete Hegseth and the operations of the United States Navy and Air Force in the Southern Caribbean, Senator Kelly might be in just a bit of hot water. A classified report from the Inspector General on Secretary Hegseth's handling of the Signal Gate scandal, in which a private chat talking about future strikes against Yemeni Houthis were leaked, that being to the Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg. It appears that Senator Mark Kelly may have illegally leaked this classified Inspector General report to the Wall Street Journal. Quote, a Pentagon watchdog has found Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth violated some of the department's regulations when he shared sensitive information from his cell phone on Signal earlier this year, according to Senator Mark Kelly. However, the Defense Department Inspector General also concluded that as Pentagon chief, Hegseth has the authority to declassify DoD information, now the Department of War. Kelly said Wednesday after viewing the watchdog report the department sent to Congress. That suggests the defense secretary didn't break the law, end quote. CNN's political report seems to corroborate that Kelly may have illegally leaked this. Quote, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth risked compromising sensitive military information, which could have endangered American troops and mission objectives. That, of course, is speculation. When he used Signal in March of this year to share highly sensitive attack plans, they were not highly sensitive attack plans, targeting Houthi rebels in Yemen, according to 4 sources familiar with the contents of a classified Inspector General report. According to 18 U.S. Code Section 798, you're not allowed to leak the details of a classified Inspector General report or anything that you in the chain of command as not active Captain Mark Kelly currently has alleged to have leaked to the Wall Street Journal. You can't do that. On the matter of the Inspector General report, with an approved comment before the report is supposed to be unclassified later today, Sean Parnell of the Pentagon.
I kind of want to get your take on the Signal Gate.
Yeah.
Obviously, the IG report being leaked out there. Are you happy with the report?
Of course. I mean, so you remember the narrative back in March, I think, when the Signal stuff broke, was that the secretary shared classified information and broke the law, and shared classified war plans and put American troops at. I mean, obviously, like what the IG report shows now is that the secretary did not share classified information, and did not break the law. And to me, and not just to me, I mean, the secretary has been totally exonerated. I mean, the narrative that the media pushed back then in the heat of the Signal Gate stuff was fake, and today that narrative has been exposed. And, you know, you'll see out there, you know, a bunch of headlines where you know, mainstream media outlets are using the word sensitive. That's not a classification term. They are using that term to make it seem like he shared classified information, but the fact is he did not, and he did not put U.S. troops at risk. I'm sure you're going to see that fake narrative peddled out there as well, as evidenced by the success of the operation itself. Operation Rough Rider was a clear-cut mission with a clear-cut end state. No U.S. troops killed, no U.S. troops wounded, thank God. So obviously, no Americans were put at risk. So we're glad that the IG report is out. We're glad that we can put this entire fake news narrative to bed.
And lastly, government officials and media pundits in Minneapolis are tripling down on protecting Somali migrants from deportation after comments from the President of the United States on Ilhan Omar and her friends being, quote, garbage, end quote, rather upset Representative Ilhan Omar.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a hole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country.
Mayor of Minneapolis, Democrat Jacob Frey, went on an impassioned rant in support of those in Minneapolis who hail from Somalia.
He's wrong, and we want them here. Somali people have been an extraordinary benefit. I'll say it again. Somali people have been a benefit to our city for longer than I have been in our city.
He and the police chief then made an additional joint statement in Somali to presumably the Somalian population of Minneapolis, saying that they would intervene if Immigration Customs Enforcement carried out operations in the city. Local anchors from Minneapolis area TV were also quick to stand in solidarity with immigrants from Somalia, whether they be legal or not. Here's one of the anchors from KARE 11 in Minneapolis.
Hell, it's emblazoned on the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. To breathe free. Minnesotans by the thousands cannot tonight. Perhaps sitting in fear, even with legal status, and that their president called them garbage. We'll see you tomorrow night. Take care.
And in broad response, Representative Pramila Jayapal, Democrat of Washington State, has introduced a bill that she says has 123 co-sponsors that would prevent immigration customs enforcement from arresting any illegal immigrant and would also encourage and require taxpayer-funded legal assistance for any illegal immigrant in the United States.
Today, to say enough. Our Dignity for Detained Immigrants Act has a remarkable, unprecedented 123 original co-sponsors. Before we've even introduced it, 123 co-sponsors, and it overhauls the detention system.
Before you go, head down to the description and make sure you're subscribed to the Tony Kinnett Cast. And join us tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern for a roundup of the day's news and nonsense. I'm Tony Kinnett, and this has been the Daily Signal's top news in 10. Take care.